Hey guys, Dr. Aaron Stairs here from the Performance Republic. For those of you that don't know me, I am a performance physical therapist, which means I help active youth athletes like yourselves get moving better, feeling better, and performing better. So today we are going to be going over one of my favorite topics in sports performance, and this is building optimal habits. So what we're going to do is kind of share my screen here, and we're going to get right into the presentation. Um, get my screen shared here. All right. Yeah. So today we're going over healthy habits for optimal sports performance. And like I said, this is like a very underlooked part of sports performance. It's not the coolest thing to talk about, but I mean, if you can get these things down, this is the difference between you staying where you're at right now and then getting to the next level in your playing career. Whether that's getting more playing time on the field, ascending to the next team up, or maybe from like the lower level team to the top team in your club, or even going to the next level in terms of getting into college or into the pro level. These are the things that you need to work on. So a little bit about myself. Like I said, I'm Dr. Aaron Stairs. I'm the owner of the Performance Republic Sports Medicine and Sports Performance here in San Antonio, Texas. Basically, we help people move, feel, and perform better. We do that through a number of programs online and in person that work in the realm of sports performance and sports medicine. So after we kind of go about what habits are and kind of how you can go about building them, we're going to talk about what habits you need to work on, and then any kind of questions that you may have. So let's get into it. So habits, what are they? They are the daily tasks and routines that make up about 80% of your day. Um, these are just the things that you do on a day-to-day basis that are just routine to you. Okay. And the majority of the time they are subconscious and they're on autopilot, right? These are things that we don't even have to think about doing because we do them every single day, right? Our body just knows what to do. A good example of this is, maybe first thing in the morning, you know exactly what you're doing. You maybe, even if your routine is as simple as, you wake up and the first thing you do is go to the bathroom and then go and get some breakfast, right? Your body knows, if that's your routine, that as soon as you wake up out of bed, you're walking to that bathroom and you're walking into the kitchen. You don't even have to think about it. Your body just automatically does it. Now, if we can take that same concept with habits of sport performance, then man, you're gonna be so much better of an athlete, and it's gonna be so easy for you to accomplish those things. So the first thing you got to do, in when it comes to habits, is becoming aware of the habits that you have yourself. Right, becoming aware of your own habits is half the battle. If you're not aware of what you're doing, then there's no way that you can change them or optimize them. The biggest mistake that we see with people working on their habits is that they try and change too much at once. That's what happens with these big kind of workout programs where it's like 6 weeks to a better squat or a better sprint time or whatever the case may be, right? Um, they work on things too much too soon. You may get a little bit of improvement in the short term, but then ultimately you fall back on your own habits and you just fall back to where you were when you first started off. Okay. So that's why when we're working on these things, we're only working on one thing at a time, that one habit, that one keystone thing that's going to make all the difference across all elements of sport performance. Okay. Small changes make that big effect. If you're looking for this big thing that you need to do every single day, it's not going to happen. It's going to be too hard to sustain long term. We're looking for very small changes in your day to day routine that you can work on, and that's going to end up kind of adding up to this huge effect when it comes to improving your sports performance. So, what do you need to change? There's four different things that you can kind of pull from. All right, we're talking about habits in terms of what is that one big thing that you need to do. So these are the big rock items, right? So let's just go through a few different things here. And as you go through this, kind of write down the things that you feel like you need to work on specifically. Okay. So part one of sport performance, right, is obviously training. Is there a certain skill that you need to work on to get better at, right? If you're a soccer player, do you need to improve your shooting, your crossing, your passing, your dribbling, your defensive positioning? Same thing for volleyball, right? Do you need to work on spiking, jumping, getting into position to dig or spike, whatever the case may be, right? You got all these different skills that you need to work on. Is there something in your game that's lacking that you need to practice daily? Okay. Are you tight anywhere from mobility practice? Do you move so better a certain way? Do you suck at touching your toes, right? Do you have tight hamstrings, tight shoulders? Is there something that you need to loosen up, and that's going to improve your performance? And ultimately, are you training 2 to 3 times a week outside of club practices? Most of the time, you'll get this within your high schools or with a sports performance coach in person. We do offer services like that also for online training. So if you're not doing that, then we can talk at the end of this and see if we can find a good option for you. Okay. So that's training. And those kind of baseline training habits. If you're not doing any of these things right here, then you may want to kind of pick one of these up. The second portion of sports performance is mindset, right? Are you doing any of these? No. Are you having a growth mindset? And what is a growth mindset, right? It's the thought process that just because you're not very strong right now doesn't mean you're always going to be weak, right? You can work on these things, strength, speed, being a good soccer player, being a good volleyball player, whatever the case may be. You have the ability within yourself to do that and improve on a day-to-day basis. If you don't have that mindset, you're not going to get better. If you just think you're not good at it and you never will be, then you never will be, because you've never given yourself the chance to get better. Okay, so implementing a growth mindset. Meditation, right? That's a really complex topic, but it is something that's really, really good about recovery and kind of making your body calm down after all the workouts and all the stress that you go through on a day-to-day. Cold shower training, it's a good way to control your breath, right? So when you take a shower in the morning, the very last minute of your shower, turn that water all the way down to cold and just sit in that cold water for a minute, just focusing on your breath. You'll be surprised about how difficult that is to kind of maintain for a minute. But if you can just focus on your breath that whole time, when you're in these difficult scenarios in games, when your breath is a little out, you're going to be that much more in control of your actions during the game. Fourth part of mindset is reading, right? We love self-improvement books, and reading, one of our favorites is something called The Obstacle is the Way. So, if there's a way that you want to improve your mindset, that's a great book to download. Recovery. These are some more habit ideas, right? Are you sleeping 9 hours a night? Do you turn all your screens off 1 hour before you go to bed? Do you have routines? Do you have a morning routine? Do you have an evening routine or a weekend routine? Right? Specific things that you need to do to set yourself up for success for the day, week, month, and year. And then hydration. Are you drinking enough water in a day to make sure your pee is light yellow to clear, or are you drinking 4 to 6 glasses of water a day? Okay. All of these things right now are just habit ideas, right? So if any of this is kind of striking out to you, like, I don't do that, then jot it down, because we're going to kind of go through everything that you've jotted down at the end of all of this to see what the one thing is that you need to work on today. Okay, so again, going through training, skills practice, mobility practice, sport performance training. Are you missing any of those? If you are, write it down. Same thing for mindset. Do you have a growth mindset? Are you meditating or giving yourself like little daily kind of present reminders? Are you taking a cold shower every so often to work on your breath? And are you reading? For recovery, are you sleeping 9 hours a night? Do you have routines in place to set yourself up for success for your day? And are you hydrating appropriately? Nutrition. Okay, this is another big thing. Do you eat slowly? Are you getting 1 to 2 palms worth of protein in every meal? Do you get 1 to 2 fists worth of carbs per meal? And carbs can count as vegetables, rice, pasta. I mean, I'd prefer the veggies and the rice more than anything else, right? So are you getting 1, or even fruits can go in there too. So are you getting 1 to 2 fists of those per meal? Fats, are you getting 1 to 2 thumbs worth? And that includes peanut butter, any kind of nut butters, avocados, olive oil, things like that. And then, are you eating enough to support your training? Do you feel fatigued during your week for training? Are you always tired? You always wanting to take naps? The first thing you need to do is make sure you're eating enough, because most of the time when you're training, you probably aren't. So those are things just to ideas for habits for your nutrition. So at this point in time, you should have a list of a couple of things. Maybe if it's just 1 or 2, even if it's 3, right? You have a narrowed down list of kind of things that we've gone over here that you aren't currently doing, because all of these are going to improve your performance. So now you've identified those things. What do you do about it? You need to pick one thing. Okay, so look at that list that you just made, And I want you to pick one thing that you can start doing today on a daily basis for the next 2 weeks. This is how we create a new habit, right? We make it very um, present, right? You want to make sure that you're doing this every single day and being aware that you're doing that habit every day. So then if you do that for 2 weeks at a minimum, that habit is going to become automated and you're not even going to have to think about doing it anymore because it's just part of your routine now. But up front, you've got to think about doing it and actually hold yourself accountable to doing it every single day for 2 weeks. Okay? Once that habit becomes automatic and you're doing it well and doing it just every day without problem or any resistance, move on to the next one thing, right? Pick the next thing on your list that you want to work on and then repeat, right? Do that one thing every day for a minimum of 2 weeks until it becomes easy and routine. Once that becomes routine, now you've got 2 new habits that are going to kind of exponentially improve your sports performance. And then, rinse and repeat. Keep on doing it over and over. There's always things to work on, right? This is the mindset of elite athletes. This is the difference between you playing 10 minutes a game to you playing 60 minutes a game. It's the difference between you playing in high school and playing in college, playing in club and playing in college. It's the difference between you playing in college and going pro, right? This is what elite athletes at every level do to better themselves. This is the process. So you can't just say to yourself, I want to get there. I'm going to be there. Like, you have to do the work, and this is how you do it. So with that being said, I hope that was informational for you guys, and I hope you got something out of it and you have an actionable step of one habit that you need to be doing every day for the next 2 weeks. Okay. Now, if all of this is very new to you and you need a little bit of coaching along the way, we offer a one-on-one habit coaching service to guide you through this process and make sure you're holding yourself accountable to getting yourself better and putting yourself in a good position for college coaches to scout you when it comes to that age group, or putting yourself in a good position to better yourself as an athlete to get to that next level of your playing career, whether that's more time on the field, getting to that next team up, or getting to that next level. Okay. The program that we have for one-on-one coaching, we don't have very many spots open at this point in time. I think we have less than 5 at this point. So I'm more than happy to open it up to you at this point in time. You just need to contact us and see if it's a good fit for you. Basically, this is guided coaching, right? So we create tailored nutrition and training programs along with habits that are delivered online. Okay, so these are online programs for tailored training and nutrition. You get 24/7 access to experts in the field, which include myself and my training staff. And that's, individualized training, guys. It's top of the line stuff. This is what the pros do. So if this is something that's interesting to you and something that you know that you need because, you don't know the process or don't trust the process very well by yourself, we're here to help, right? We have these services available. No, we want to make sure that it's an absolute right fit for you. So if you're interested in one-on-one coaching outside of your club, right, and getting better in the realms of training, sports performance, and nutrition, then this may be the program for you, right? But this is only for the serious athletes who want to better themselves. So if that's not you, then don't worry about calling us. We want to make sure that we're tailoring this to the athletes who want to get better, no matter what their goal is, okay? So you can contact us for that. Our number is 210-338-0073. That will be the direct line to the office at the Performance Republic. Like I said, we'll also include a link here in the video for you to follow so that you can get a little bit more information and sign up for that free call. That'll be 15 minutes with me or one of the other training staff to see if that is a good fit for you. Okay. So again, thanks for joining me today on the habit stacking presentation. Hopefully you got something out of it. And, I think we're going to continue doing these weekly basis. So kind of check back next week for the next one and get some more free information on improving your sport performance. But until then, have a great week and we'll talk to you soon.